Joining me today, we have Laura Conde. Laura is a salsa and bachata teacher and social dancer. She specializes in teaching salsa, but I have found from personal experience in her lessons that this gives her bachata lessons an element of freedom and playfulness that's really unique to her and her dance partner's lessons. I'm really happy to have made a new friend and to have her here with us today. Welcome, Laura.
Hello, and what a lovely presentation. I think I would have never described myself with so many wonderful words to describe myself as a dancer, but thank you.
Well, come and chat to me more because that's all I have to say about your dancing.
Brilliant. I'll do.
Oh, Laura, so start us off. How did you get into salsa and bachata?
So, this was like about 8, 9 years ago now, probably 9. But basically, like dancing has been around my life because my parents used to dance as well. So they used to do like Cuban salsa, merengue, and tango mostly. And if you've ever gone to any kind of like lessons with the oldies who have their little kids around, that was me.
Nice.
And actually, it was just this Christmas holidays that I went to a social and I was looking around like, this place sounds familiar. And back about 20 years ago, I was running around there with my sister, never imagining that I would be going out there. So it's quite fun. But as a teenager, you know, when you're a teenager and everything your parents do, you refuse. So everything was basketball for me. I played basketball for 10 years and I loved it. And I've made some of the best friends of my life. But then again, I got tired of it. And it was like, actually, some people, as we were saying, they say that they start dancing because of love. Actually, in my case, it was the opposite. I started dancing when I broke up
Okay.
with somebody because I had tried to get him into dancing. He was not up for it. And the moment that we broke up, I thought like, tired of basketball. Gym is not kind of my thing. So what am I going to fill my time with? And then is when I joined. Like, I joined secretly. I didn't want anybody to know. I thought that, like, my parents would laugh at me or something like that.
Oh,
But they actually loved that I had started.
yeah.
And yeah, I started in Madrid, where I am from. And I took like about a year or so. And then I moved into England. But I started with salsa. And it was then here that I started doing more bachata.
Nice.
The rest is history.
And the rest is history. So, Laura, something that stands out for me loads in your lessons is there's a very equal dynamic between leader and follower as you're teaching. And even in lead and follow, you and your partner, you often swap. So if you're explaining something from a follower's perspective, you might jump in and lead that bit to explain it and vice versa, which is really cool. I find in quite a lot of lessons, I won't say all, but in a lot of lessons, it ends up being quite leader focused heavy. And it gets to a point where there's not as much in it for the followers. And yeah,
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, I could not agree more. And that's something that I'm guessing you have experienced. I have experience in our community. I have experience in Madrid. So it's not just a isolated case. Now, the thing with our dynamic, well, I think it really helps that my dance partner, it's also my partner. So the planning is not rushed. Whenever we plan for a lesson, we are both talking constantly about the things that are going to help the leader and the follower.
nice.
But also we both dance as the opposite.
Yeah.
So in socials, and it was so funny because like when Paco started asking leaders for a dance as a follower himself, people would look at him a bit weirdly. And I experienced the same when few years after I started dancing as a leader myself, that they were not taking these dances seriously. They would dance with us, of course, because they were mostly our friends, but they wouldn't take it as if they were actually doing their dance as they would normally do. And that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Luckily, I can say that has changed completely. And I'm not sure about other places, but at least in Oxford, you can see that happening constantly. Like we are changing roles and it's just amazing. But going back to our lessons, so something that we always state is that, well, we got a sentence and it's basically at the beginning of our lessons, especially when we're teaching beginners, intermediate, or if we're in a group where we've never been before, we like to explain what leading and following means. And
Hmm.
we have the same joke. And whoever has been in our lessons for more than a year, I'm sorry, because they've listened to that so many times. But we always ask, what does the follower do? And we always talk about like following, interpreting the move and like the energy and mirroring the leader and receiving the message. Whereas when then we ask, okay, what's the job of the leader? And everybody will go straight away, lead. We'll say no. Actually, suggest the move. Because lead sounds really forceful.
Yeah.
Whereas suggest is, okay, I give you this idea, you take it, you interpret however you want, and if the follower is not ready, let's take a basic.
Yes. Oh, I
It's
love
always
that.
there. Let's take a basic. And also, like our joke is basically like explaining about the rules of the leader and the follower is like, okay, historically, leaders have been men, women, followers. Now it's 2024, so regardless of what you got between your legs, you can do whatever you want.
Yes.
And then is when, because if we say partner up, like, the usual couple, okay, partner up, there is this, I'm guessing like everybody is drawn to do this, but like a woman will look for a man will look for a woman. And if somebody was planning on doing the opposite, maybe they do not have a chance or they feel a bit too shy to step up and say, actually, no, I'm going to try the other one around. So
Yeah.
that is why we always split like, okay, whoever wants to be a follower, go to the side. Whoever wants to be a leader, go to the other side.
Nice.
And then, like, you can see the people like, where should I go? Where?
Yeah.
But then, like, they get to choose. And even if we got the case like both leader followers equally, if let's say a guy who wants to follow, but there are not enough leaders, they always tend to go and we say, no, 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 no. What do you want to do? Okay, so
Yeah.
stay on this side, and we're going to make sure that we rotate. I don't know, when doing a lesson, I just think that I want to create the lessons. Well, we want to make the lessons that we would like to have as learners.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that is key. And in regards of what you were saying about lessons being mainly focused on the leader side, oh, that's something that I cannot take.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons why I started dancing as a leader.
Yeah, nice.
Thinking, well, at least I'm going to get something out of this.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's fair enough. Oh, I love that you use that suggestion thing, whether it's beginners or not, because even when it's a new group, that
Mm.
immediately sets the tone for the class of you are suggesting these leads, you're inviting them. This is a conversation. It's not a monologue situation. And that's so cool that you'll put that in anywhere because a lot, from my experience, a lot of teachers won't go back to basics in that kind of simplified way when teaching a class that's not beginners.
Yeah,
Typically,
probably
it's just not as common. We might say, okay, we're going to review these basic-ish steps, but there's not enough dialogue about
the
you're
basics.
leading it, but how are you leading it? Why are you leading it?
Mm.
And that, yeah,
It's just communication, isn't it?
this is it. Yes.
I don't know, the way I see it, as well with the basics and talking about all this stuff, I think also like we really need to mention that it's out there that you got a person in front of you and that sometimes like whether you're dancing as an you might be dancing at an intermediate level, but you're
Mm.
dancing with a beginner. Therefore, you need to lower the pace. Lower
Yes.
the pace and do a basic that this person is going to enjoy.
Yes. So much so because they're not
Mostly as
gonna.
a leader, I have to say, because they got the power to do the suggestion.
Yeah.
So it always like takes my power. Like you can see these poor followers who are just starting dancing and suddenly, especially in salsa, they get lots of figures and
Yeah.
spin and it's like, no, 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 no,
No. Do,
slow.
do you think your followers enjoying that? It's
Yeah.
it's
I
like
mean,
I'm going to show you every move I know, and because you're a beginner, I'm going to show you that and then again. Oh.
and then I will explain you on the dance floor.
Ooh. Big no
Ooh,
no.
that's the worst.
So I do find sometimes if I'm dancing with a friend and they lead something that I didn't quite get, I might say to them, "Oh, again." or and they're kind of ask them to show me again, and maybe they'll break down something or just say something as they're doing it to help me understand the follow. Um, and that's great because I'm asking for that feedback. I'm asking you to show me, and vice versa. That may happen occasionally with a. Okay, actually, it doesn't happen with lead. It happens when I'm leading, perhaps, and I'm leading with someone else. But yeah, it's that. Oh, you missed that follow. Let me show you how it's done. And you think, I didn't. It's okay. I missed it. Let's move on. We don't know each other well. Let's just enjoy the dialogue together. Why does that still happen so often?
I don't know, like I would like to think that is less and less and less.
Mm,
And but sometimes, and to be honest, I have to say that most of the times whenever I saw a teacher explaining on the dance floor, I thought it was the teacher going a bit overprotective over the students.
oh,
But
okay.
I've experienced that as a teacher now, the students come to me on the social asking for feedback, and I was like, oh, so it happens the other way around as well.
Yes.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
And I always refuse to give them feedback on the social
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I was going to ask that. So what's your reasoning?
because it's social.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're here for fun. And
Yes.
because also like, okay, how far do you want me to go with that feedback?
Yeah.
How much do you want to take in that 20 seconds that I can give you feedback with the loud music around, with somebody
Yeah.
maybe like pushing us around because they're changing partner for the new song? Or do you prefer like a more thoughtful feedback in the lesson?
Yes.
Because if I dance with you, probably I'm going to remember at the following week that I've danced with you. Therefore, you can come to me later on, or I can come to you like, by the way, this is what happened last day on the social.
Yeah.
Maybe this angle wasn't the right one, so it was a bit too pushy, or I need more tension. But on the social, I think the socials should be kept as these are just for to have fun.
Just for fun. Yeah.
I mean, which other activity do you have that the homework is going partying?
Right? That is so true.
How cool that the teacher tells you, well, you have to go to a party to practice.
Yeah.
Sign me in.
Yeah.
But as you said, so I think it's also a matter of trust and confidence.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if I'm
Hugely.
leading something with a friend, and let's say, let's go to a simple example, a body roll on bachata, and it's not on
Mm.
the right timing, and I might do it again, and I hold her like, wait a second, let me, and we will have a laugh about it. Also,
Yeah.
because many of them are leading as well,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I
Nice.
love when, and this is experience from following to leaders, but I can imagine that leaders to followers have it as well. That anytime that I'm with a friend who is starting to lead as well, and I do a move, and they will go, "Ooh, how did you do that?" And,
Yes.
and vice versa, of course. If my friend has just learned a move on a different party from a different teacher, and they lead it, and it's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! How did you do that?"
Yeah.
And I love that confidence both with any leader.
Ah,
It's just
that
so cool.
is cool. And that's why it's so cool swapping roles because you get to experience so much more
I
input.
love it. I'm
Oh,
loving it. And also, if you're swapping roles, you never miss a song.
that is so
How
true.
how many times have we gone to a social where in our case, if we mostly follow, there are too many followers, and
Yeah.
vice versa? What if you go to a social, you're a leader, and everything is full of leaders? You are not going to dance much. Whereas if you can swap,
Yeah.
never miss a song.
It's so empowering
Never.
because when you feel like you've got to, you know, run into the floor to get into the dance floor, because on the edge it's quite hard sometimes if there's it's very follow heavy, let's say, you have to really kind of be on your game and think, right, I need to find someone to dance. And it puts pressure and it
Never
takes
leave the
the fun
center.
away from it.
Never leave the center.
Yeah, that's the trick.
As soon as one song finishes, whoever is around you, eye contact, let's dance.
Let's go.
And I think it's a matter of not being picky,
Oh yeah,
as it happens sometimes on socials as well.
it does. But everyone's got a different style. It doesn't really matter on their level. Enjoy their level, enjoy their style. I quite like that as
Mhm.
a follower, getting to take on someone else's style for a song. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, and I think like that happens on the basic,
Mm.
and that
Yeah.
is something we in our lessons really insist on. Basic is the most beautiful step.
Yes.
And we love that saying because I think it takes a lot of pressure off the shoulders of anyone dancing in our class. Either it is the lead because they are making the suggestion way too late,
Mm.
or if it's the follow because they didn't actually quite understood what the leader meant. But if they just step into a nice basic where they re-communicate, the
Yeah.
dialogue keeps on.
Yeah. For me, it's the sidestep of basic. I love that. People don't use the sidestep much. Anyone listening, please throw in some more sidesteps for me. I love them.
Literally funny you said that. Like this week, both Monday and Wednesday we were teaching, and in both like in the on Monday we tried to make it like a bit more like Cuban rumba style,
Nice.
whereas yesterday it was more survival mode because the socials that we attend to on Wednesdays are really crowded.
Hmm.
So we wanted to show them like you dance with the person in front of you, but also with everybody around. So you have to be conscious of
Yes.
your arms, your legs, your body, where does your partner go. So we
Yes.
were teaching actually like this side step, but more like from led from the frame.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yeah, completely. But that's why it's such a beautiful move because when you nail it, your leader is communicating clearly what they would like you to do, and you understand it, and you both just go. It's like if you were watching, you wouldn't realize there had been a lead or a follow. It had just been one pair moving. And
yeah.
yeah, so I love it.
I want to go dancing tonight.
I know. So, what has been your favorite part of teaching in this last year? What has brought you the most joy?
Hmm. I would say many, many, many things. Like one of them was, well, I think a couple of weeks ago, it was one of the Birmingham University tournament or something like that from
Yeah.
teams. And there was one of the teams in which a girl who started dancing with us, she was on that team. And actually, that's the team that won.
Ah,
Oh, she's a far better dancer than I am, right? Like at this point, like she's the way she moves, she is beautiful. And it was just so much fun because she didn't know that we were there. We were there with the Oxford salsa team
yeah.
and just supporting them. But then like I saw her like around the venue and she said like, oh my gosh, when I was like on the stage and I saw you guys on the distance, and then I said everyone like my first teachers were there, and I was like, that's so beautiful.
That is beautiful.
I mean, because I'm guessing like you always get have memories from your first teacher,
Oh yeah.
regardless of how good or bad their dances. Like by that time, you will look up to them and
Yeah.
you will be inspired by them. And the thought that actually somebody was seeing me in that way, I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Like somebody sees me the way I see this guy. Because even now, if I dance with him, which happened last summer, we actually run into each other over the summer holidays and we dance and so. And I will go so nervous and I will get
Yeah.
the, oh my gosh, I'm dancing with my first teacher. Oh, the judgment is there, I'm sure, I'm sure, I'm sure.
Ah.
He's super chill. But like thinking that somebody will see me that way,
Mm.
I was amazed. Like, oh, I'm no one. Come on, you were amazing. It was so much
Oh.
fun.
Oh, what an honor. And that first teacher is the one who brings the love of dancing to that student.
And
So
that is one
you
of
brought her
the,
that joy.
I think that is one of our main features, that we are not teachers, we are entertainers
Ah, okay,
in
yes.
essence. And that is also our go-to sentence because, again, what kind of teacher would have got me into dancing?
Yes.
Somebody who will make me laugh, somebody who will make time fly, somebody that is actually like I'm taking something from them, but at the same time, it is the day of the lesson and I'm looking forward. I'm not looking for excuses.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think in terms of like your previous question, the other part that I will say is that we've kept numbers kind of constant
Yeah.
in a sense. And not obviously like, I wouldn't say it for the money because I will be paid whether it's one person, 20 people,
Yeah.
regardless. And actually, the more I have to use my voice and the more difficult, it would be easier to have just a group of 10.
Yeah.
But beginners, we then had to split them up because we were having like so many that we wanted to go from scratch, and then beginners who were actually so getting at improvers level.
Yeah.
but they are all there on a weekly basis. And if they cannot make it, they apologize. And it's like, you are the cutest. You don't need to apologize. And I don't know, they're friends.
Yeah,
It's just, yeah, the energy from the people is just so cool. I really like the lessons.
that's cool. But I really think that the vibe and atmosphere that is in a dance class is led and influenced heavily by the teachers. So that's a hats off to you and Paco as well for that.
Yeah, they have to be the ones sweating on the
Yeah.
teachers.
It's good teachers to sweat every now and then, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so true. Because for me, it was that input of learning. I love learning something new. And my first teacher was very much of, I want you to go out and be a social dancer. And it was that vibe of you are going to grow, you're going to go and
Oh.
enjoy parties and things. And I thought, yes. And that's what brought me in right away. And then it was that constant progression feedback. So being able to give feedback in a way that's not critical, but more like, if you do this, then this will be easier, be better. And it
Mm.
was such a positive way to be
It's a
in the
really nice
learning
approach.
process.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, fab.
Agree. Yeah, because at the end of the day, like I really like that dancing, as opposed as some people might feel it, it's not competitive. And I've been in competition like many years with the basketball and 10 years of it and
Yeah.
10 years of like going to the basketball games and feeling the pressure.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've never experienced with the social dancing.
Nice.
And it's just amazing. I tried performing, and that is the side that I don't like.
Mm.
Like, no, it was actually this weekend that I did my last performance with my team.
Oh,
I've loved the learning. I love the union. Performing, no, not for me.
yeah.
Actually, it was fun because I got slapped on the face in the middle of the performance. But it was in front of like such a
And nice.
familiar crowd, like they
Yeah.
were all our friends, literally everybody laughing. And then I had it on video and I was going around the social showing in a slow motion the slap.
Oh,
And we're
brilliant.
going to make a GIF and a meme about it.
Did you see it coming?
Oh no, not at all. So I kept laughing, like you can see me on the video doing the choreo, muscle memory going, but me laughing.
Yes.
And my partner, like the guy I was dancing with, like, oh my gosh, Laura, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, yeah, let's finish it.
Oh, that's fantastic. I've only dipped my toes into performance a little bit, and yeah, I feel like I'm a social dancer. I liked the teaminess of one of the groups I was in. They were a lovely bunch of women. Um, but this, yeah, I'm a social dancer.
Is it a styling team or
Uh,
partner work?
so the first one was a styling team. No, the second one was a styling team. The first one, but it got cut short because of pandemic. That was a partner team. Yeah, that one was definitely too intense for me.
I mean, but you get if the teacher leading the group is good, you learn a choreography, but you take away the technique.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah.
how I felt with all the teams that I've done.
Okay.
That sure, performing, not for me. The costumes, I love them.
Yeah.
Just for the photo shoot, it was worth it. But then when it comes to perform, I don't know. Like I remember there was another one that I was performing in London, and this is like many years ago. I
Mm.
wasn't teaching even there. Like I was there just improving. Um, and then like I fell in London with lots of people, and you know how you have to do the this kind of like catwalk to get out of the stage.
Yeah.
I did it like smiling, but I was crying. That was like everybody was later coming on like, well done you, it's okay. And I was like,
Oh,
it's not, I fell in front of lots of people.
oh. But
But
you
again,
got
like,
back up.
yeah, I think that those things really helped me again because I could take away the technique. And if teaching nowadays, any of the followers come up to me with the technique in terms of spinning, in terms of like the position of the arms, I can refer back to my first team because the teacher I had, well, they were Hill and Shelley from London.
Okay. Yeah.
They were both amazing, but like I got so much from her
Ah,
That,
yes.
yeah, I still put it into practice. It's so good.
Wonderful. That's the effect of a fantastic teacher.
Indeed,
Oh,
and they are. They are.
yeah.
It seems like I'm doing them a promo here, but they are worth it.
It's not promo if you're doing it because you feel it.
Oh, from the heart.
All from
Absolutely.
the heart, yes. Then it's just well-earned promo. For me, I'm a social dancer. I love that. I feed off that energy with the other person. When things go wrong, you just go with it. That's now what's right because that's what's happened. And I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love like when a mistake on the dance floor
Mm.
leads you to laugh with your partner.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just so cool. And yeah, there are some socials that they just fill your heart. So at the moment, Paco and I, we are organizing socials here in Oxford,
Ooh, lovely.
and they are like a matinee. So they happen during the afternoon, during the evening, because we were getting many people saying like, actually, it would be nice to have like something more like, family friendly hours
Yeah.
that I'm not going to be exhausted at the following day. I can still get to do stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, Paco was the motto for all the organization. Like, he was brilliant because back then I was like in a really busy time.
Hmm.
And he's still the main lead organizer of it. But
Hmm.
obviously, we look for the music, we create like the posters, and it's been a really cool process. But the parties we've organized two so far, and the
Yeah.
vibe is so chill. Like, there were even families with their children.
Ah,
I was like, oh, this is so cute. Like, families dancing with their kids.
so
And I was like,
welcoming.
this is like hanging around with friends,
Yeah.
literally.
Ah, fantastic. And so cool that you guys are contributing to the scene. You're hearing what people want and going, all right, let's see if we can make it happen. Oh,
I mean, we wanted to make something really approachable, and our policy is like, it is free.
ooh, okay. Yeah.
Now we're talking. So it is free with a class beforehand that is like a free tour.
Yeah.
Like, so the concept of like price donation based.
Yeah.
We say to the people, this is the class you can attend. You're going to have a beginners, are going to have an improvers intermediate level. You pay as much as you think this class was worth.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's nice to have something that is not that expensive around.
yes.
I mean, for us, the purpose, we do not get any profits out of this. I mean, well, from the last one, we got £8.
Ooh.
It's paid for the burger, which was great. But I think, like, for us, we wanted to have a social where we could play the music that we like
Yeah.
and for people to enjoy and make it like affordable. So, and I think it's perfect for people who are actually considering initiating themselves. Because if you got, the usual friend who already dances, and they're saying to their friends, come on, come to a social, and then they get to the door and it's £12,
Yeah.
they're not going to get in. They are not going to experience it at its
No.
first. So, but if we say, hey, it's free, we go for a beer. If you like it, you dance. If not, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
And more people started to come to the lessons after that because they
Wonderful.
like
Because
it.
they get that chance to see it without the pressure of I've spent money, so I have to get money's worth.
Actually, the one who joined was the bartender of the venue.
Hey, hey.
He's
Brilliant.
adorable. He's amazing.
Good job, him.
Hmm.
Oh, that sounds fab. We tried a similar model in Bristol with a free social, with donations if people wanted to contribute, but we were finding that we were losing too much money. So
Mm.
we've had to make it just a £3 entry thing to try and make
Yeah.
it so that it can be sustained and it can continue happening because
Hmm.
there's low cost, chill out. It's
Yeah, that's the thing.
lovely.
We do it at a cafe, which
Oh,
is a really cool space because they do lots of like social stuff such as
yeah.
comedy shows and theater and readings and so on.
Nice.
And they do not charge us anything.
Oh, how
So
lovely.
everything goes from the profits of the on the profits from the drinks,
Yeah.
basically. So that is what we do. We say do not make a donation if you don't want to. Like, we rather have you consuming so this event can be sustained.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah,
That sounds
and
like a
so
nice
far it seems that it's working.
yay. And if it could be a win-win for win-win-win, win-win-win for you, win for
Win,
the
win, 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 win.
location, win for the students, win-win-win.
It's amazing. No, no, no. It's really good fun,
Yeah.
to be
Oh,
honest.
it sounds
And
it.
we play lots of merengue, which is not that common around England.
But
And
how
everybody
fun is
goes
merengue?
bananas. it's it's like the ultimate social fun dance.
Anyone can get up and do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even the children were dancing it.
Yay. I'm gonna have to make a trip to Oxford to come and join in for the next one.
Please do. I will send you details.
Yes, please. Thank you. Oh, Laura, it's been wonderful speaking to you today. This has been fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting.
Oh,
It
you're
was
so welcome.
exciting.
It was fun. No, you've brought the joy and the playfulness, the energy that you have to your lessons. You've brought it here for us all as well, which is a real treat. Thank you.
No, thank you for making this because to be honest, I love podcasts, but I never find like many related to this hobby,
Hmm.
which is like so widespread. So I will be listening to this one from now on.
Okay. Why, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Empowered Dancers podcast. If there's an aspect of the dancing you would like to hear about, or a particular teacher you would like to hear from, drop me a message and I will try to make it happen. Make sure you subscribe to get every episode as it comes out. Thank you so much for the comments and questions you are already sharing. I really, really appreciate it, and I look forward to serving you in next week's episode.